when you do your revision for your final exam. Okay, but for now, let us discuss on the questions. Okay, and you can also have look at on how to answer the questions fully. Okay. Okay, I hope that you have prepared that question and then you have discussed it with your group because I provided an hour for that. Yeah? Okay, can you please fill up the attendance form? I have already posted the attendance form. So can you please fill up the attendance form before we start our class? We should have 80 members, but now it is only 31 of us. This the class rep, can you please inform your friend that we are now we will start our class? Can you ask them to join us? Have you fill up the attendance form, class? No. Okay, I posted again the attendance form so that you can fill up the attendance form. We have 47. I think it is half of the lecture. I do not know where is the others. So I think class rep, you should alert them that we have a class right now. Okay, so let me share this screen with you. So you have this one and also. Okay, class. Let us look at on the question and also on how to answer the question. I hope that you have also discussed with your group members. Okay, as a practice with your as a practice and also for your what do you call it for an exam later. Kita sesuai pula letak di sini. Okay, so now let us look at on the wait a second, yeah. I'll check. Okay, so let us check. You have the question together with the Microsoft Excel. Am I right? Am I right, class? Hello, am I right?
Yes, madam.
You have the question together with the question then. Okay. So look at on the question here. Tak berapa dengar lah. Okay, now let us look at on the question number 1 here. It is autumn 2013, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so Chaser is a limited liability company. It summarized financial results are given below. So you have, as usual, you have the income statement for the question. And you also have the statement of financial position for the question. And then what do you got next is additional information. So the following are ratios for Chaser Company for the year to 31st December 2011 and industry average ratio for 2012. If let's say in your assignment you are to find during for your research for your searching in your Google search tu you dapat industry average for the athletic industry. So you can do that, okay, to explain whether you agree or you do not agree with the profitability industry. So this is the ratio, and then required you are to calculate the following ratios for company. For the year ended 31st December 2012, state clearly the formula used for each ratio. So you have to also come with the formula. Okay, whatever it is in in exam and in the question of accounting ratio, you also to come up with the formula. Sebab formula pun akan dapat markah. And then you are to comment on the performance of Chase company using the information given and the ratio you calculated in part A. So if you look at here, you can see that marks ni lagi banyak untuk comment rather than for the calculation. So they want you to comment. Okay, it is not just to interpret, but then you are to comment and then explain 5 limitation of ratio analysis. So how to answer this? Okay, so first of all, because they have already come up with the ratios dalam soalan tu, kalau dia tak come up with the ratios right macam ni, what you have to do is to look at on this Chaser company operating profit percentage yang dia bagi dekat sini. Okay, so how to answer the question? So the first part is on the operating profit percentage. So anyone, the You all dah kira belum? Operating profit percentage. So how to calculate the profit percentage? What will be the formula then? Class? What will be the formula? Come on, anyone? What will be the formula?
Gross profit per sale.
Profit?
Gross profit per sale.
Gross profit? I don't think so because this one is operating profit. So you should take profit from operation. You should take profit from operation. Okay? And then divided it with the revenue then. Okay? So then what do you need to do next is for you to multiply with 100%. Okay? So how much then? It is 90. It is 90. Then you have to divide with the revenue. In the question, it is 675. And then multiply with 100%. So how much then? How much then, class?
13.33%.
13.33%. So how do you get 13.33%? It is this one divided by this one and then multiply with 100%. So you have 13.33%. So here kena kurangkan the decimal places, make it the decimal places to 1 decimal places. Okay. So this one is in percentage. Oh tak boleh dia kalau buat percentage dia tak boleh. Okay. So what you should have, you should adjust. So it is 13%. So you should have 1 decimal places. Okay. And then what's next is for you to calculate current ratio. So how to calculate current ratio then, class? So for you to calculate current ratio. So what will be the formula for current ratio then? You should have
asset divide current liability.
You have asset divided by current liability. Now, sebab I buat together with you, I don't think you have to put it in the chat box. It will be difficult for me nak kejar masa lagi to calculate together with you on to look at the chat box lagi. So it will be better for you to answer dalam words lah ya kat sini. Current asset, you divide it with current liabilities. Okay. So current asset divided by current liabilities, as you can see here, the current assets is 236. Okay, it is 236 and then divided with current liabilities, which is 190. Okay, this one, I don't think you have to multiply with 100. Okay, okay, what you should have is actually to calculate in proportion. So this one, what do you call it? And then divide with the current liabilities. So you have 1.24. So adjust the decimal places to 1 decimal places or 2 decimal places, but dia mewakili number. And then this is to 1. Okay, 1.24 to 1. And then acid test ratio. Selalunya. Okay. And then you have acid test ratio. So how to calculate acid test ratio, class? Tell me. So you have acid test, which is, they call it also as a quick ratio. So acid test ratio, what would be the formula then, class?
Current asset minus inventory
You have current asset
divide current liabilities.
with inventory and then divide with current liabilities. So here, now current asset dia berapa? 236 and then minus with inventory 170. Okay. And then divide with the current liabilities, which is 190. So equivalent to how much then? 236. So you have 236 minus with 170. Okay. And then what is this? Orang pengesahan. I tengok lagi. Divide with 190. So you have 0.34. So decimal places. So to 1 also. Then what do you got next? You have apa lagi yang disuruh cari? Class? What do you have here? You have trade payables period in days. So here you are to calculate payables period. Okay. So the payables period in the question, you should take the trade payables and then divide it with the apa dia? Come on class. Divide it with the credit purchases. So how much is the trade payable? Look at on the question. Come on, sunyi je. I suruh buat tadi sebenarnya. You have here 160 and then divide with 160 divide with
Cost of sale.
cost of sale. So you should put as cost of sales ni adalah 505. Okay. Yang ni you akan cakap note lah. You put note here. This is how to answer in the exam. You can see that cost of sales is assumed as the credit purchases. Okay, purchases. It's assumed as the credit purchases. So you bagi tahu kat situ. And then multiply with 365 days. Because dia kata you nak kena ambil 65 days. In days. So what would be the answer then? This 160 you divide with 505 and then you multiply it with 365. Sorry. 365. So you will get 115. So here make it decimal places to jadi satu je. So it will be 1146 days. Okay. And then what do you got next? Apa disuruh cari lagi, kelas? What do you have next? You have you are to calculate inventory turnover. So here the colorkan kita boldkan so that the invigilator will know that this is the note. Sorry. Okay. And then what do you got next? You have inventory turnover. Okay. So for the inventory turnover, you should have your inventory. Okay, divided with, come on class, divided with?
Cost of sale.
Divided with cost of sales. Divided with cost of sales. So how much is the inventory? Look at on the question. So the inventory here is 170. And then you divide it with the cost of sales, which is 505. Okay. And then you multiply it with 365 days also. So therefore you will get how much then? 170 divide with 505 and then multiply with 365. So you will get 122.9 days. Make it 1 decimal places. So this is in days. Okay. So if you answer like this, it would be what you have in the, this is what you should answer in the final exam. So you should come up with the formula and then come up with the workings and then come up with the answer. Don't forget, you should have all this one, yang percentage to the proportion and everything. Now on the part B, you are to comment. So this is actually 2012 punya ratio. So you are to comment. So how to comment? So let's say here you are to comment on the performance of chaser. Sebab dia kata kat situ, comment on the performance of chaser. So you are to comment on the performance of chaser. Chaser is the name of the company. So in your report, okay, you should not put the subject. You can also put the subject as comment on the performance of chaser, ataupun subject is the performance, the analysis of the performance of chaser and so on. Okay. Kalau dia suruh buat report lah, but because of this one, dia tak suruh buat report, you can just put as a comment dulu. So the first part for you to comment, it is on the operating profit. Okay. So if you look at on the operating profit here, you can see that in the year 2011, it is at 17.7%. Industry average, you have 19%, and then you have here 13.3%. On the, what do you call it, on the 2012 ratio. So kalau you tengok dia menurun ya, daripada 17.7 dia jadi 13.3, dan when you compare to the industry average, it is also decreasing. So macam I cakap, do not use whatever you have masa you all punya diploma tu. So you use word yang lain, the operating profit percentage, you can say like that. Okay, kata contoh, has deteriorated, okay, meaning decrease lah on the previous year. Okay, tengok macam mana I buat ya, previous year, and is well, okay, macam mana I nak buat dia jadi nampak. Okay, and is well below the industry average. Okay, sebab dia memang below industry average. Industry average scored 19 tapi kita dapat 13.3%. So this is the comparison. Then what's next you should have? You kata this, you come up with the recommendation. Yeah? This suggests that the control okay, of cost. Okay. For you to come up with this suggestion, you have to look at on the formula then. How do you get operating profit? Profit from operation. It is from the cost of sales and also from the distribution and administration expenses. Meaning revenue, kena tolak ni semua dulu, baru you dapat profit from operation. That's why the recommendation here, I put it as this suggests that control of cost needs to be improved. Okay, so ini yang I akan tulis, to be improved. Okay, so this is your suggestion. So you can kata the next your steps assumption for you, kata the company may be ataupun has competitive issue. So this is your assumption. This is your recommendation. The first part is your comment. And then the second part, it is your recommendation. And then you come up with your assumption. Maybe because the company has competitive issue. You understand what I'm saying here, class? Do you understand? You understand, class?
Yes.
Yes.
Then we will look at on the current ratio. Ni I tunjuk satu-satu ya, so that later it will help you to answer in your final exam ataupun dalam assignment you. Okay, for the current ratio, kalau you tengok, current ratio yang kita kira it is 1.24 and compare it with here, you have 1.3 and also 1.2 for industry average. So what you can see is the current ratio, okay, has again not increased or decreased, but then deteriorated, okay, slightly. Okay, kenapa I use word slightly? Because sikit saja 1.24 with 1.3. Okay, on the previous year. Okay, ini on the previous year ni you boleh letak 2012 ke, 2011 ke, tapi letak on the previous year lah. But you can see that, but is the same as the industry average. Lebih kurang lah, industry average pun 1.2, kita 1.24. Okay. This is your comment. The first one is your comment. Then baru you punya suggestion ataupun you punya pernyataan lah. The business has, you can see that sufficient current asset to cover its current liabilities. Okay. So then baru you come up with the second part of the question, andaian you yang I cakap tadi. However, or recommendation ke or whatever, but the sentence lah. However, you can kata the current asset, what makes it different from the asset test ratio? So the current assets are, you kena tengok pula dekat sini. What is the component of the current asset? Ini yang I kata kita kena, when you want to interpret, you have to look at here. So kalau you tengok sini, current asset dia banyak dengan inventory. So the current asset, you can see that the current asset are mainly inventories. Okay, so that is the problem, sebab inventories yang paling banyak. So you tengok ya, how I tunjukkan satu-satu. When you want to analyse, you kena tengok komponen dia, denominator dia and also nominator dia. Okay, I rasa ini yang lacking dalam all your seniors yang buat hari tu. Okay, so what can you say? You akan kata the company may, okay, so this is your assumption, okay, ataupun your suggestion, cakap may have problems converting inventory to cash if it is required quickly. That is the problem with the current ratio because mainly of the current ratio is the inventory. So we proceed with the acid test ratio pula. Sebenarnya tu dia I nak tunjuk kat you macam mana you nak kena buat wordings ya. So acid test ataupun kita panggil sebagai quick ratio. So look at on the question then. So acid test ratio dulu 1.1, 1.0 but ours is 0.35. So jauh lah dia pergi ya. So how to comment on it? So akan kata the acid test ratio. I tak ada introduction pun. Gives I tak ada introduction yang mana dia akan menjejaskan you punya wording. Okay. So acid test ratio gives a better indication of liquidity than the current ratio. Okay. So the ratio is 0. Yang ni another style. So kita tulis 0.35 to 1. So and has fallen. I pun tak tulis decrease has fallen significantly. Tadi tu slightly. Okay. Kalau you nak kat atas ni dia adalah slightly yang but this one is significantly. Why? From 1.0 jatuh kepada 0.35 ataupun 1.1 jatuh kepada 0.5. But this one is jatuh sikit je 1.3 to 1.24. Okay. Significantly. And then what can you say about this? Come on, class. What can you say about this one? Okay. The ratio has fallen significantly below the industry average. So you can see that this ratio panjang sangat kalau tak nampak nanti. Macam mana nak tengok ni? Okay, so 0.35 tadi and then I've fallen. So this ratio, okay, you akan kata suggest, ni yang kata suggest the company, okay, suggest the company may be experiencing some liquidity problems. Okay, so you akan cakap the current high, okay, the current high inventory levels. So you touch again on, you kena tengok komponen lah macam yang I bagi tahu tadi tu. Okay, might also indicate the business is experiencing, dia kalau nak menaik ni is experiencing some trading Okay, difficulties. Come on, you have to also come up with the wording so that I can look at on your wordings nanti. You punya comment. Then what do you got next? You have trade, payables, period. So look at on the trade payables period. Purchaser 2011 119, industry 125. But here you can see that kita scored 115, 6 days. So trade payable periods, what you can say about the trade payable periods? So the payables period, okay, has, ini boleh lah guna, has decrease ke? 119, 129, 125 decrease lah daripada 119 kan, has decreased since the previous year. And is, ni satu cara lagi and 10 days, kalau you tengok 119 kepada 115, lebih kurang dalam 4 days sebenarnya. Dia kata kat sini is 4 days is 4 days more or less lah 119, 125 or 10 days lah 10 days weaker than the industry average. So I lupa nak cakap, what you have here is actually the first part here you compare, because you ada 3 comparison kat sini. The first part here you compare dengan chaser part last year, and then this one, the other one, the next sentence tu you compare with the industry average, because you have the industry average dekat situ. Okay, so you akan cakap dia 10 days below so bagus lah sebenarnya. So you akan kata the business may not be taking all the credit from supplier. Okay, ini mungkin isu dia. Okay, supplier, it is okay entitled. Okay, dia tak ambil, ini isu dia tak ambil entitled, so dia tak ambil credit lah. Or okay, suppliers might be shortening their credit terms. So ini adalah assumption dia. So you have to come up with the assumption also. So the early payments to suppliers will inevitably squeeze and I just squeeze. Okay, the business liquidity position. So ini dia punya recommendation. I tak ada introduction ya. Tak ada introduction the trade payables. Your seniors dulu dia ada buat introduction. Bila dia buat introduction, then what happen, dia kacau dia punya wording. So wordings dia nak berapa saja, tapi that's the problem here. And then the last one, it is the inventory turnover days, 112, purchaser, industry average 110. So you have here inventory turnover. So for the inventory turnover here, you can see that you have inventory turnover, okay. So inventory turnover, kalau tengok 1 to 2 jauh ya, as slow as kalau you tengok, kita kena compare dengan 2011 dulu. So in comparison to the previous year, ataupun you boleh buat 2011. Okay, and compares unfavorably, lagi wordings ya, vocab yang I bagi unfavorably to the industry average. Okay, so your assumption, the business may be experiencing more difficult trading condition. Kita contoh. Apa masalah dia? Masalah dia the slowing down of inventory, stock lah ya, turnover, will also have an adverse impact on the cash flow. Dia tak dapat bayar lah yang tadi yang current ratio tu within the business. That's the way how you are to answer the question. Any question? Any question then class? Any question?
Madam,
Yes.
about trade payable spirit tu, Madam ada cakap since the previous year and it's 10 days quickly
Sana?
yang 10 days.
Okay, 10 days
Mana-
tu
Mana
I kata tadi, I lupa nak bagi tahu. The first sentence, it is for you to compare with the last year. Kita kan buat calculation 2012.
okay.
So the payables period has decreased since the previous year. Previous pun I salah eja. Previous year 2012 kita dapat 1 to 9 days. Okay, 1 to 3 days lah sebenarnya. And then Chaser dapat 2011 119 days. So maksudnya dah decrease lah. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And then sorry, itu inventory turnover kan, dia dekat atas tu kan. Yang ni kan, dia 115 days, so dia dah decrease. The second part, sebab kita ada satu lagi comparison, dan kita compare dengan industry average 125 ni, compare to 115, dia ada about 10 days quicker lah daripada industry average. So dia collect payables period, atau dia bayar payment untuk payables cepat lagi daripada industry average. Okay.
Okay, Madam, thank you.
Yang lain ada question? Do you have any question?
No, Madam.
Ada. Assalamualaikum Puan, saya Anisah. Dah emailkan borang pengesahan pengajian ISP untuk dapatkan job. Siapa Anisah ni? Who is Anisah? Never mind. Then what do you got to do next, class? What do you got to do next? You are to come up with the limitation, am I right? So limitation ni I dah banyak kali tunjukkan kan? Limitation I dah banyak kali tunjukkan. So apa dia limitation dia, class? What is the limitation then? What is the limitation? Apa limitation? Dia suruh come out dengan berapa limitation? So you have to come out here. Here dia kata ada 5 limitation. So what are the limitation? The first one, you can say about inflation. Ada dalam notes you. So inflation may distort comparison of ratio over time. Mungkin satu company tu dia memang ada inflation dan satu company tu maybe tak ada experience inflation. Ataupun the ratio are only as good as the financial information on which they are based. Okay. Or changes in accounting policies, lagi sekali kita cakap from year to year, may produce misleading ratios. You can look at in your notes. Usually, the information presented in the published accounts is summarized, making a detailed analysis impossible. Okay, sebab contohnya limitation dia adalah dia summarizekan distribution and administration expenses here. So you do not know how much is distribution and how much is administration expenses. That will be the limitation. Then what do you got next? Using industry average, dia kata, as a basis for comparison can be misleading as they are the average of the ratios from a number of companies. So misleading lah yang ni. It might not be true because dia ambil daripada semua company. Then the accounting information used to prepare the ratio may be out of date. Yang ni I tak berapa setuju lah. The accounting information used. Oh sorry, this one is talking about historical costs. Okay, betul lah tu. And different accounting policies may distort intercompany comparison. Itu sama lah ya. Different accounting policies and so on. So now, any question? Any question so far? Question class? Question?
Madam.
So we proceed with the next question. What is the next question? Mana the next question? The next question is Fin. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay. So the following information has been extracted from the financial statement of Fin Public, a company which makes its account up to 31st December each year. So you have the income statement here, you have the statement of financial position, and then you have the information yang lain ni. So this is additional information. Additional information ni lah yang you kena ambil untuk macam contoh soalan CESA dia tak ada additional information. But here you have the additional information. Now required, write a report to assess the performance of Fin Public. Now remember, when the question mentioned about to write a report, you must have the headings. You kena ada to, from, and the title. The title tu subject dia lah. It will be report analysis, okay, ataupun assess analysis. You boleh tiru je ayat ni, analysis of the performance. Analysis of performance of Fin Public for the year 2013. Let's see, itulah antara contoh yang saya boleh bagi, okay. And then dia kata over the period using ratio analysis under the headings of profitability, liquidity, efficiency, solvency, and shareholders. So calculate no more than 2 ratios under each heading. So you tak tahu apa dia, macam CESA tadi dia dah come up dah with the ratio, yang ni you tak tahu, so you have to come up on your own. Clearly show your workings and state any assumption you consider necessary. So that's why I said when you want to comment, you kena ada also include assumption yang macam mana kita buat case tadi. Okay, so this one is autumn 2014 autumn 2014. Tadi 2014 kan autumn? I salah.
13 madam.
Tadi autumn 2000. So it is autumn 2013. So now let us go with question. The next question ni. Tadi ini question 2000.
Sama 2013.
Yang ni pun 2013. Kan kot. Sama. Yang ni sama. Oh, you mean sama ya kan? Okay, it is sama 2013. Okay. So how to answer this one? So and then the next one, to be useful, a ratio must be used in comparison with something else. Briefly outline 3 things that a ratio might be compared to. So yang ni I tak nak ajar lah, because you boleh tengok dekat notes ya. So I will only share with you on how to answer on the question yang I mentioned just now. Okay. So how to calculate first of all? First of all, you are to calculate on the profitability ratio. So the first part of the question, you are to come up with the ratio calculation. Okay. So you can use this type juga untuk you jawab dalam final dalam assignment you. Okay. ratio calculation. So the first one, you gonna compare, ada make comparison with 2012 and also 2015. Sorry, 2013. I'm going to repeat it. 2013. Okay. So what you have first on the profitability ratio. Apa dia profitability ratio yang selalunya kita nak tengok? Okay. Profitability ratio. Profitability. So on the profitability, sama macam tadi, the first one kita nak tengok is our profit margin. Okay, profit margin. Okay, what would be the formula? You must state down the formula to get marks. Okay, so formula, kalau kita tengok kat sini, formula dia adalah PBIT, which is profit before interest and tax, and then you must divide it with your sales. Okay, this is the formula. So now let us look at on the PBIT, then profit before interest and tax. Kat mana? It will be in the income statement. So profit before interest and tax, kalau you tengok 2012 berapa kelas? Tell me. How much then? How much then? Tell me. Profit before interest and tax.
59.
59. Macam mana dia dapat 59? How do you get 59? Saya tak nak tunjuk macam mana. I nak you bagi tahu I sekarang ni. 59. How do you get 59?
Ambil operating profit.
Ambil operating profit. Okay, bolehlah ambil operating profit, or you can take the profit before tax here plus with the net interest here. So sebab dia ambil profit before tax and interest. Okay, and then baru you kalikan. So what do you got next? It is 59 divide with this amount, then you will get this. Berapa? 1 decimal places. Okay, then you can buat percentage. So you have 13% here. 13.4. Okay. Then the next one, kita ada 86. Divide with the sales, which is 653. So, berapa jadinya? Calculate for me, class. So, it is this one, divide with this one, and you will get this one. Okay. So, by percentage. %16.2%. Okay, then this is profit margin. The next one, remember I cerita dekat you, for us to look at on the profitability, we are actually looking at the ROCE. So profitability, you have the profit margin, and you should also have the asset turnover. So asset turnover, how to do the asset turnover? Apa dia punya formula for the asset turnover, class? It is, what is it, class? Tell me. It is just sales and then divide with sales divide with the capital employed. Okay. So how much is the sales for 2012? It is 440. And then you are to divide it with the capital employed. So how to take the capital employed? Yang mana satu capital employed sekarang ni? Tell me, which one? Come on, which one is the capital employed? Come on, class. Senyap je ni. Which one is the capital employed over here?
243 ke bila?
2?
243.
243 is only the equity. You should take the TALCL, including the non-current liabilities, which is 309. Bukannya 243, it is 309. To also include the long-term loans here. Sebab, kenapa? Sebab kita ambil long-term loans for us to buy fixed asset ataupun non-current assets for us to generate sales. The reason being, kenapa nak generate sales. So now, what happened here? It is this one divided by this one. So you have 1.42. So kecilkan sampai kepada 2 decimal places. Now, ini sebab I tak cukup space ya. Sepatutnya adalah 1.42 times. Okay. And then dekat sini, for the next year tu, 2013, so berapa ada sales? The sales is 653. Again, you are also to divide it with the capital employed. Here it is 465. So how? It is this amount divided by this amount, and you have 1.40 times. Ini dalam times ya. Dalam exam, you are to come up dengan times ke percentage or whatever. I tak cukup ruang kat sini, so nanti tak nampak besar. So you have to put it kat sini times and so on. Okay. Then what do you got next? You have these two are the component of your ROCE. So kan I kata hari tu, one way to calculate ROCE is to use these two. So how to do that? It is 13.4%. Okay. You have to multiply with the 1.42 times tadi. Then you will get the amount kat sini. This is the simplest way. On the other way to calculate ROCE. So how it will be? It will be this amount multiplied with this amount. So you will get this one and dia akan jadi in percentage. Okay, so 90%. Okay, 19.09%. 1.6. Okay, do you get it class? So sama juga dengan yang ni. So it would be 13.2% multiply with 1.40. Okay, so how much it would be? It would be, okay, this amount you multiply with this amount. Then you will get this. Number 1 decimal places, 18.5%. So finish with the profitability. So here is your profitability. Any question? Any question? Any question? Because dia tak come up, so kita guess lah. Kalau you tengok Nonat pun, bila you calculate banyak-banyak, dia more interested on the ROCE sahaja. Dia hanya bagi tahu ROCE and the component of the ROCE. Okay, sebenarnya dia dah bagi hint lah apa yang dia nak, tapi your seniors lah ya, maybe dia tak alert, and then this is what you have, the profitability. So any question? Any question so far? The next one, dia nak profitability and dia nak liquidity. So we have here liquidity ratio pula. Liquidity. So similar. So liquidity, the first you must have dia punya, what do you call it? Dia punya formula. The current ratio kat sini. So the current ratio, apa formula for current ratio? Tadi kita dah buat dah. What is the formula for current ratio, class? What is the
Current
formula?
asset bagi current liability.
We have current assets divide with current liability. So this is the amount. So for that, let us look at on the current asset. So how much is the current asset? The current asset in the question is 296, betul eh? 296. So you have here 296 and then divide it with current liabilities. How much is your current liabilities? Current liabilities is 194. Betul eh, class? 194. So, sama dengan this one divide with this one. So 1.5, 2 decimal places sebab dia more kepada duit ni sebenarnya. Okay. And remember, you should have time 1.53 to 1 ya, nisbah tu in proportion. Sebab I tak cukup tempat ni, I nak besarkan screen, nanti you all tak nampak yang ni pula ya. So what happened with the current asset 2012 pula, you have the here 487, 487 and then divide it with current liabilities which is 266. Okay, and what do you got next? This one divide with this one, and we got 1.83. So again, the decimal places. Okay, apa lagi liquidity yang ada? It is the quick ratio. So what is the quick ratio yang you ada? What is it? You should have current asset, okay, minus with inventory, and then divide with current liabilities. So how much is the current asset? It is 196 minus with current inventory 160. Divide with current liabilities which is 194. I buat laju kalau sesiapa yang cannot catch up then tell me ya. So what do you got next is this one, 196 minus 160 and then divide it with this one. So 0.18. Betul ke I kira ni?
Madam, dia 196 ke 296?
Oh,
Saya
I
rasa
salah.
betul.
296. Okay, salah. It is 296. 296. And then this one is 296. Okay, so 0. Thank you. Kerana alert. 0.70. And then this one you have berapa? 487 ya? 487 minus with 248. And then you divide it with 266. Okay. So 487 minus with 248. And then you divide it with 266. So it is 0.89 decimal places, 0.9. Okay, so this is current liquidity ratio. Any question? Any question? Any question?
No, madam.
Okay, then dia nak apa lagi, ratio apa lagi? You want to come up with ratio, what ratio? Efficiency ratio. So efficiency ratio, here efficiency ratio. Efficiency lah, efficiency. Sana je, efficiency. So efficiency ratio, what you have is trade receivables days. Okay, so for that trade receivable days, the formula is receivables, okay, divide by days. Sorry, divide by sales. Ini saya rasa kena letak sini. Sebab nak tunjukkan, you kalikan dengan 365 days. Okay, kali dengan 365 days. So now what do you got next is to look at on your receivables. So for your receivables, you have 118. Okay, and then calculate with sales. Mana sales dia? Sales berapa tadi? 440. 440. And then sebab you have to multiply with 365 days. So 118 divide by 440 multiply with 365. You have 97. Sebenarnya kalau hari ni kan, I lebih suka you all letak mana ada separuh-separuh hari kan, you all letak 98 days. So what is this? This is 98 days. Okay. Lepas tu this one 222 divide with berapa sale dia? 653. 653. Okay. Multiply with 365. Okay. So you will get tak cukup tempat ni, tapi tak apa, macam ni. This one divide with this one and then multiply with 365. You have 1, 2, 4 days. Yeah? Okay, this is trade receivables, and then you nak calculate trade payables. Okay, but if you look at here, trade payables dia tak bagi you cost of goods sold, so dia bagi revenue terus kepada operating profit, so you cannot calculate cost of you cannot calculate trade payables. Okay, so it is all depending on the question ya. I tak kata question ni kena calculate yang ni, okay, tapi ini this is suggested sebab dia pun tak come out. So kalau you nak calculate, remember tadi kita dah calculate trade payables days. Trade payables days you have the purchases, the trade payables divided by credit purchase, and credit purchase tu you can guna cost of sales. But this one is operating profit. Dia bagi operating profit ni dah tolak cost of sales, dah tolak distribution and administration expenses, so you tak boleh ambil the difference here. Okay, so that's why I tak calculate trade payable days. Okay, and then for inventory turnover also I tak calculate. Why? Because inventory turnover also needs a cost of sales at least. So therefore, in order for this, you have to inform the invigilator. You kena beritahu in the note. Okay, you stated that trade payables days. Okay. Trade payable days and inventory turnover. Okay. cannot cannot be calculate because no information for cost of sale. For cost of sales. Okay, so you have to inform the invigilator kalau dalam kelas yang tak ada. Kalau ada, then you have to come out lah. So, macam tu cerita dia. You understand what I'm saying here? You understand, class? You understand?
Yes.
Ada siapa nak tanya? Then the next one, what do you got next is the share solvency and solvency is efficiency. Then you have this one, you got the solvency. So solvency ratio. So for the solvency, the first one, solvency, you have to calculate interest cover. Interest cover dia kena ada dengan profit. So what will be the ratio? It will be the profit before interest, okay? And then you divide with the charges. Charges mean the interest charge. Okay, interest charge. So profit before interest and tax, which is kawan kita kata di operating profit. Tapi you must remember ya, kalau dalam happens to be dalam question ni operating profit sama dengan PBIT ya. Kalau dalam kertas soalan yang lain, you have to adjust it. Okay. So PBIT here you can see that you have berapa 59 kan, operating profit 59. And you have to divide with the interest. The interest here is 14. Okay. So calculate. So you have 4.24. So you have 4.24 times. Yeah? Okay. Then on the next year, 2013, you have operating profit ataupun PBIT as 86. Here 86. And then you need to divide with the interest charge, which is 31. Okay. So you have this one, divide with this one. So you have 2.77. Times. Okay. That is interest cover. The next one is your gearing ratio. Sebab ni adalah insolvency. Gearing ratio. So how to calculate gearing ratio? So you have to come up with the formula. The formula for gearing ratio is, look at here. It is 66. Okay, it is 66. The loan campur dengan 62, the short term loan. Okay. Okay. So you have 66 plus 62. Okay. And then divide with the TALCL 309. Okay. So how much it will be? It is 66 plus with the short-term loan, which is 62. And then divide with this one. Okay. So you have should be in percentage and 1 decimal places. Okay. So sama juga dengan yang ni. So you should have 145 long-term loans plus with the short-term loans 3071. 145 plus with 71 and divide with the equity, which is 465. So you should have 145 plus 71 and then divide it with this one. So it should be in percentage again. Kena kalikan dengan 100. So it's 46.65%. Any question? Any question? Any question? Huh? Any question, class? Okay. So that will be what you have. And then apa lagi yang dia nak selain daripada solvency? What do you got next? Is shareholders. Shareholders ratio. So for the shareholders ratio, so what will be the ratio? Mula kita cari EPS. Sebab as the shareholders, we want to know earnings per share dia. So here, what you can see, what can you calculate is the earnings. Mana je earnings earnings I pun hilang kata-kata. Earnings and then divide with the number of ordinary share ataupun shares. Okay. So earnings here. Okay, the earnings here is referring to which one class? I dah cakap banyak kali dah during the tutorial, during the lecture last week. So which one is the earnings here, class? Which one is the earning? Which one earning yang you kena ambil ni? Come on, tell me. Which one? Which one is the earnings?
29.
29. The profit after tax is belong to the shareholders. So that's why you take 29. And then the number of ordinary share, you can ambil dekat equity part, which is here. Okay, kalau you tengok it is 95 at par value 50 cents. So the number of ordinary shares jadi macam mana? So how to calculate? How to calculate then? Class, tell me. How to calculate then?
Divide
Divide. Okay, apa yang divide apa?
the 95,000 divide by par 50.
Okay, good. Divide at par 50. So dapat berapa?
1.9.
900.
100. Mana ada 1.9? It is 100 and
Ah,
190. So now you have the amount. Okay. This one divide by this one. So you have 0.15. So ini pun sama. Dia akan ambil sebenarnya walaupun dia adalah 15.3 cents tau, dia tak akan ambil tu. Dia akan ambil 15.3 cents. So the answer will be 15.3 cents. Ini jawapan dia. Okay. And for this one, kita ambil 487. Sorry. Berapa yang tinggal? 33. Divide with the number of ordinary share. Berapa number of ordinary share? Sama, 190. So what you should have divide with this one. So you have 0.17 decimal places. So it is 17.4 cents. Ambil 1 decimal places. So yang ni you kena buat macam 17.4 cents. Okay, that is for the earnings per share. Lagi, apa lagi untuk shareholders ratio? Shareholders ratio, you ada lagi price to earnings ratio. Okay. Kenapa kita boleh calculate price to earnings ratio? Sebab in the question, again, it is all depending on the question. Earnings ratio. Okay. The formula here, you have to take the price of the shares, okay, divided with the EPS. So kalau salah dekat atas tu calculation dia, so you will be wrong. So the price here mentioned in the question, kat sini you akan nampak the price is 184 ni, average share price. Okay, 184. So sebab dia bagi dalam question. And because of dia bagi dalam question, you have to answer. You have to do that part. Kalau dia tak bagi, doesn't matter. Tapi sebab dia bagi, you have to answer. If you answer, you lost marks. Okay. So here, 8814, you have to divide with 153. 15.3 EPS tadi. Okay. So you will get how much then? You get 184. You have to divide with this amount. So you will get 12.01 decimal places also. There you are. So here dia dah bagi juga 235. And macam contoh soalan assignment, I tak tahu dia bagi ataupun tidak. But if let's say you do not have the ni, you cannot calculate price to earning ratio. So untuk calculate shareholders ratio, you cannot use this price to earning ratio. Kalau ada, then you can use it. If you have the information. Tapi dalam assignment, dia ada bagi information lain. So you have to do that information to explain what happened with the company then. Okay, so it is 13.5. Okay, then you have to compare with the, ini semua dia bagi tahu. So you have to compare with the note here. Apa note dia yang ada? You ada note on the industry average. Okay. You have the note on industry average. So industry average dekat bawah ni, information bawah ni, 10 and also 18. So you can use that one as 10 because later you nak kena guna benda ni to compare. Okay, so note industry average 10. Untuk okay? Okay, class? Okay?
Okay.
Nanti I akan bagi ni once I have finished my class dengan lagi satu class. Okay, now for this, let us do the comment ya, macam ni. Okay, I ajar you how to do. Kita ada question on nonat satu. Okay, so katalah you all you kena jawab by report. So mesti ada to and from, and then you must have title. Okay, I guna exactly like nonat so that you can see what is apa yang berlaku. Tapi I adjust So nonat, so dia ada tajuk dia, that will be the analysis of, okay, so you have to refer to the question. Question apa? Analysis of apa? Question kata apa dia kata? Write a report to assess the performance of in public, right? So you akan cakap analysis of comparative, okay, performance, comparative performance of in public. So, okay, so ini adalah komen dia. You mesti ada tajuk lah, to, from, and then this is the title, the subject, okay. So katalah we will start with the financial performance. Tapi dia cakap pun financial performance, dia cakap comparative performance sajalah. So kita start dengan financial performance dia. Okay. We will start with the financial performance. Okay. So ni you tengok how I adapt and macam mana I buat dengan Nonat lah ya. Sebab you ada banyak yang I bagi. So I think you can refer to that things, to the examples, so therefore you can, ada seorang tu dia section 3 kot. Dia buat tu memang betul lah tu, tapi dia tak 100% tiru ya. Bila you 100% tiru, apa akan berlaku, that's why I tak letak benda ni dalam dalam Moodle ya, so that nanti dia tak akan categorize. So as measured by the ROCE, okay, and in exam ataupun dalam dalam assignment you have to put not to put abbreviation. You kena type lah as measured by the return on capital employed. Lepas tu baru letak dalam bracket ROCE. The next one tak payah letak dah return on capital employed tu, you terus letak abbreviation dia ROCE. Okay, so you akan kata the company, sebab you dah mention about fin public kat atas ni, so you akan cakap the company, okay, overall you akan cakap profitability. Okay, so you have to look at here, it is 13.4% and also 13.2%. So kalau you tengok dia ada slightly decrease kan for the year. So the company overall profitability okay, was slightly was slightly deteriorated. Itu ni yang tadi lah, deteriorated. Okay, as a comparison comparison 2012 to 2013. Okay. And I mentioned tadi, we should have the comparison dulu, nak bagi tahu on the comparison. So yeah, as measured by the ROCE, the company's overall profitability, kita akan tengok kat sini. Okay, overall profitability was slightly deteriorated as comparison 2012 to 2013. And then you proceed with you kena tahu berapa yang dia slightly tu. So kalau you nak guna dalam Nonat pun tak apa. Okay, kalau you tak nak guna dalam Nonat pun, you boleh cakap by means of berapa je perbezaan dia. Okay, so katalah yang ni, and then you have berapa perbezaan dia. So you akan cakap slightly, macam ni je slightly, LIGHT slightly deteriorated. Okay, 2013. Okay, 2013 slightly deteriorated. Okay, as comparison to comparison to 2013, okay, 2012. Okay, you can cakap by over. Okay, so you boleh gunakan formula Nonat tu. So berapa? Cuba kira for me. How much is it? So what can you say? You akan ambil come on, tell me. Jangan I buat seorang-seorang ni. Kita buat sama-sama. So kita belajar sama-sama sebenarnya on the question ni. So you have 13.2. Okay, minus with 13.4. Okay. So you dapat negative 0.2, and then divide it with 13.2 again. So about 0.01%, over 0.02%. Okay. So slightly deteriorated as comparison to 2012, ataupun you tak payah kira, you hanya ambil perbezaan ROCE ni je lah, 19.1% to 18.5 pun boleh buat macam tu. So katalah you ambil sekarang ni 19.1, okay, minus with 18.5, you dapat 0.6. Slightly by, tak payahlah guna over, it is by berapa tadi? 0.6 cent. Contohnya, okay. Okay, kenapa ini berlaku So you to, there's the comparison. Senyap je ni. Orang lain, come on, cakap sekali. The comparison is due to, so you have to look at on the question again. So look at on the question. So ROCE, dia ada profit margin. So you tengok revenue dia, even though it is increased, but the operating profit is decreased. Ataupun you akan cakap the component sebenarnya, kan? Ada comparison ni. The components of ROCE, the components part of overall profitability. Okay, you akan cakap the asset turnover and profit margin. Okay, you will see that one. Yeah. Okay. Come on, senyap macam ni. Okay, and profit margin, you can see like that. And then what can you say lagi? You akan kata the, okay, you will see that what you can say about the asset turnover then class. Tell me, what can you say about the asset turnover? You must remember, the comment is more marks than the ratio, the calculation, because you are a degree level student. So you should bagi tahu banyak lah. I tengah buat sama together with you, so you should have the comment with me. Kalau I tunjukkan cara untuk you tengok dekat dalam note and for you to improvise the words so that you can use it for your final exam, tapi mesti dah kena mengena dengan your calculation here. So when you stated that it is actually the components of asset turnover and profit margins, okay, and of both of these, dia kata kalau kat dalam nak kata no company considerably underperforms the sector average. So kalau you nak tengok 2013, okay, 2013, as you can see that, and profit margins, okay, so and if you can see, and both, okay, of these, okay, you akan kata and both of these, the company considerably slightly deteriorated, okay, when compared 5 years. 2012 and 2013. Contohnya. Okay. Come on, lain. Come on. Anyone would like you nak bagi tahu apa-apa? Any comment? And then by you touch on this one. So kalau you tengok sini profit before interest 2012, dapat lagi sikit daripada 2015, but sales is pun sama because of the sales. So you kena tengok percentage of expenses dia. So kalau you tengok percentage of expenses dia, okay, 59 dengan 440 expenses dia berapa percentage dia, and 653 dengan 86 dia berapa percentage dia. Come on, because of you all senyap sangat, tak ada nak bagi apa-apa. I tak mau bagilah I punya jawapan ni sebab I pun memikirkan ayat for me to create so that we can discuss it together, because I bagi you 1 hour for you to discuss. So imagine you are in the final exam, so you tak ada masa banyak, you have to write down. So it will be a problem if you do not want to comment together with me on this part. So what can you say about the profit margin then? We want to touch on this profit margin. Oh, what can you say? What can you say about the profit margin then? Hello? Anyone? Hello? There's slightly deteriorated. Okay, the slightly deteriorated is so kira lah berapa perbezaan dia 440 dengan 4459. Come on. I tak mau bagi lah, sorry lah. This is my wording. If it's just the attitude. 440 minus with 59. So we got 381 and that one is 653 minus 5.
Dia nak tunjuk dalam bracket ke?
Tak kisahlah. Tadi berapa? Tadi berapa? 440 dengan 59 tadi berapa? 381. Yang tadi tu 653 minus 86 567. So the expenses is 567 653 minus with 86. So expenses is 567. So you can see that the slightly deteriorated is seen, okay, in the profit margins. In the profit margins. Okay. So kalau dekat dalam sales dengan capital employed ni, tak nampak sangatlah perbezaan dia, about 2%, about 2 times also 0.02. Okay. As well as in the asset utilization. Okay. Okay, and you cakap indeed it is the profit margin. Okay, it is the profit margin yang problem sekarang ni. It is the profit margin which is the main cause of the deterioration. Okay, for the comparison. Okay, itu perbezaan dia. Okay, So kenapa ni berlaku? So this may be due to over expand, okay, over expenses ataupun maybe due to over spend on expenditure in the year 2013. Okay. Okay. So about berapa tadi? 5, 6, 7. Cost of expenses. Contohnya, okay, which bring down the amount of profit, even though the company managed to increase their sales. Okay, memang sales increase kan, tapi expenditure yang paling banyak berlaku dekat situ. Okay, so kita tunjuk dah ya. So expenses tu nanti sebenarnya better tunjuk lah. So the comparison for expenditure, okay, spend on 2012 is berapa? 391 as compared to, tak payah comparison lagi lah ya. The expenditure spent for on 2012 is 391 as compared
381 madam.
to 2013, which is 567. Contohnya. Okay.
Saya rasa
Apa yang dia
381
sengaja?
madam.
Ha? Apa dia?
391
381, madam.
381.
3?
381.
Tak kisahlah. Tapi inilah dia punya cara how to do it. So you can use no net lah for reference. Then what can you say much about that things lagi? Okay, apa lagi you boleh bagi tahu about the things? Nothing kan? So that is one part. This is where you touch on the profit margin, and then you touch on the what do you call it? Apa tu? You touch on the asset turnover pula. So asset turnover is berapa? Asset turnover. So asset turnover you kena kira lah. The company is generating approximately, okay, kira lah berapa persen? Berapa persen dia punya increment? 1.42. Kita nak buat comparison with 2013. So 2013 dengan mana yang ada 2013 So 2013 ni dapat berapa? 1.40. So 1.40 divide minus by 1.42. Okay, negative 0.02, and then you divide with 1.40 again. Okay, so you dapat 0.01. Ataupun tak payahlah sebab itu sikit sangat kan. 0.00% tu sebab dia slightly changes sahaja. So you can see that it's generating approximately 0.02. Okay. Less less utilization ataupun less assets turnover. Okay. For 2013 as compared to 2012. That's it. Okay. Okay, which suggests, sebenarnya you guna ayat yang simple lagi senang ya. Which suggests that okay, the decrement in the ROCE. Okay. Bukan asset turnover lah, asset utilization. It will be better. Asset utilization. Utilization for 2016. Okay. Then what do you got next? Come on, anyone? Apa you nak kata about this one? The sales is more, so lagi sekali lah pulakan. 440 dengan 309, it is 131. Tapi sebenarnya ni tak boleh apply macam ni. Sebab kenapa tak boleh apply macam ni? Sebabnya adalah dia bukannya secara langsung dia punya formula. But you can say that kenapa ini berlaku? Even though dia dapat banyak sales, tapi and then the capital employed is more, but then sales dia tapi dia punya asset utilization is kurang. So you can see that this might be due to asset utilization. Okay. This may be due to asset utilization by the company in the year 2000, ataupun this might be due to inefficient ataupun dia tak not sufficiently the company might be due to insufficient utilization of the what you can see of the capital of the asset to generate revenue. Change revenue in the year 2015. Ni you punya assumption lah. Okay, maybe dia tak gunakan semua dia punya asset lah. So kita kena tengok question semula. So when you look at here, maybe ada purchase plant and equipment. Lepas tu investment masih lagi sama, ataupun you boleh tengok kat sini reserve increase, long term loans dia gunakan maybe untuk purchase sebab dia gunakan 465 kat sini kan. So what can you say about that one is something to do with the application of more loan. Okay, so you akan cakap suggestion, you akan kata there is an increase ataupun to the amount of long-term loans. Okay, which suggests assume which suggests more non-current asset purchase during 2013. 2002. However, okay, you can get the however. Okay, the company has not fully utilized its non-current asset to generate its revenue. Okay, jangan kata macam tu lah. Do you understand what I'm saying here? Do you understand, class? Do you understand?
Yes, madam.
Yes, madam.
Lagi orang lain tak ada bagi tahu apa. You dengar je apa I cakap. You tengok je I tak boleh bagilah my wordings here. I think so. So what I can say, what I can explain it to you. ROCE mula-mula I tengok this part, okay. And then what I do next is touch on the profitability here. And then I touch on the asset utilization here. And I also refer back to the question. Okay, so that is how you will do it. Okay, let us move to the current ratio. So on the current ratio, so for the current ratio, what can you say about the current ratio? Okay, so now let us get on the current ratio. Okay, it kata shows that the liquidity of the company, okay, so 1.53 jadi 1.83. So it meaning there is increment lah, improve lah ya. Is within expected norms. Okay, within expected norms, which is 1 to 1, the normal norm lah. Okay, so okay, so what happened here? You have to refer to the current asset here, the component 296, and this one is 486. And then you kena tengok semula lah what happened with the current asset. Kalau you tengok inventory dia increase, trade receivable increase, cash decrease in the year 2015. But semuanya increase ya. Accruals, semua increase. So what can you say that it is good lah ya. Kalau kita ada 1.83 as compared to 1.53 for the current ratio. So what can you say about the current ratio, class? What can you say about the current ratio? However, you can see that, however, okay, however, okay, the quick ratio of the company is below the expected norms, which suggests that more inventory needs to be sold in the future. Okay. So you can tulis segitulah. However, ayat I pun ni ayat merepek-repek, tapi nanti bila you jawab exam, you have to come out again. Kena tengoklah kat question dia. Ini kalau dalam assignment ni, because of you are working with your group, So you boleh tulis lah whatever you want here. Okay. Kat mana? We suggest 39. We suggest company good. And then what can you say about gearing? Efficiency, trade receivable days, saya rasa tak banyak lah. Ini pun suggest lah yang collection period tu, so you can touch on that collection period. For the solvency, what can you say about solvency then? What can you say about solvency? Come on. What can you say about solvency? Interest cover dia. So, is it better? Is it better?
Interior juga.
Huh?
Interior juga.
Huh? What can you say about the? Okay, I tulis kat sini Apa? Boleh juga apa? I can't hear you clearly.
Interior juga.
No, I don't think so. It is deteriorate. So kalau you tengok sini, interest cover, we touch on the interest cover dulu. So kalau you tengok interest cover, interest cover deteriorate lah kan, walaupun profit naik kan. Sebab dia hanya boleh cover 2.8 times je. Kalau dalam 2012, dia boleh cover 4 times dalam 1 tahun. So, aku cakap, the interest cover is obviously deteriorated in 2013. Okay. In which the company can only cover approximately 3 times in a year. The difference, while in 2012, the company managed to cover 4 times interest in a year. Okay. So jadi kenapa? This is due to increased loan with its interest. Okay. Even this is due to increased loan lah. Loan yang increase daripada 14 dia jadi 30. So banyaklah interest yang kena bayar. Okay. So I tengok satu-satu macam tu. So you kena tengok satu-satu macam tu. Okay, macam contoh yang ni pula gearing ratio ni. This one is the short terms and long term loan. So kalau you tengok dia akan naik kat sini. So you will see the same thing lah, yeah. You will write the same thing. Bukan kata gearing dia slightly increase sajalah, 46.5% to 41.4% contohnya. Okay. Lagi tak ada sesiapa nak comment on it. And then that is on the gearing ratio. And I hope that you can also come up with the shareholders ratio then. I bagi you 1 jam tadi for you to discuss it with your friend. It is not to wait for my answer. I pun buat soalan together dengan you all sebenarnya. So, tadi sama berapa tadi?
13.
Dia adalah question fin kan?
Yeah.
Okay, the first question here, you have a question on apa nama? Hard knocks, ya? Right? You have question on hard knocks, ya?
Yup.
So I will give you the answer. Tapi I tak nak bagilah whatever I write here sebab saya senyap aja. Okay. Ni nak pukul berapa dah baru masuk ni Nurul Nelly. And then what you have here, I bagi you answer. For Hard Knocks for 2012, profit margin dia 20.3%. 2013 for 12.9%. Asset turnover 2.36 times. And 2013 is 2.29%. Okay. And then you have ROCE for 47.9% and 29.5%. Okay. So for liquidity, you have current ratio for Hard Knocks 1.6 to 1 and also 1.21 for 1.2 for 2013. Quick ratio 1.2. And then you have 0.97 for 2013. Efficiency, you have trade receivable days for 65 days to 110 days. And you can calculate inventory turnover sebab dalam question Hard Knocks, dia ada cost of sales. Okay, so you can use that cost of sales to calculate trade payables and also inventory turnover period. So for inventory turnover period, it is 11.8 times. For 2012 and for 2013 it is 10.4 times. Solvency it is 16.8 times for interest cover and 2012 and 17.9 times for 2013. Gearing ratio also the same, 16.9% 2012 to 10.1% for 2013. EPS you have 77.6% and 59.4%. Price to earning ratio you have 11 for 2012 and 9.5 to 2013. Okay. So yang limitation tu, I hope that you can look at on your notes. So any question? Any question? Any question?
No, madam.
Madam.
Yes. Do you have question? Siapa yang tak nak tanya, kan also write in the chat box. Ada 60 orang, ada 20 orang tak datang. Okay. So I'm posting again the bukan. So any question? Any question?
No, madam.
So that is how to answer the question lah, ya. So you have to look at on the components of the and when you want to come up with the ratio with the comment. So if no question, then I will see you again next week insyaAllah. So that's it for today. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, madam.